Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, knock, knock, knock. And let's see, what do these tea leaves have to say tonight? All right. And so our card is the Knight of Wands. So that is big, big energy. A lot of, how should I say, personal potential. You are open and receiving to the inspiration and whims of the universe. You have great willpower. And I think intellectually very on point. So not only are you creative, but you are able to manifest, to render your vision, and everything is coming together for you. Hopefully. That's the energy anyways. Now let's see, what do these tea leaves say about it? So here's the big thing. We see it looks like an E, right? An old-fashioned E. This is how I like to do my fancy cursive kind of E. E's for, what's it called? Cards, letters, that kind of thing. And so this feels like it could be a name. I feel like there's somebody, it seems like a family member maybe, maybe like maybe a lover, your first love, something like this. Somebody who is important and they have maintained the emotional attachment, like not just the emotional, they've maintained like this perfection in your mind. You always keep them kind of in this very beautifully perfect and nostalgic kind of image in your head. And you have the utmost regard and respect for them. So that's why I wonder if this is like a family member. But I also feel like this could be somebody you were in love with when you were young. You know, before we are too tainted by the world, right? A little more cynical as we get older. We have the ability to look at people in this almost angelic sense, right? They just seem so interesting, so amazing, so clever and perfect and kind. And, you know, you're young. You don't necessarily think that they are flawed, or even the flaws that you do perceive, they seem like beautiful kind of personality traits, right? And I think as we get older, we have less time, we have less will to deal with people's things. We maybe aren't judgmental about them, but you know, there's a lot of just kind of, you know, things that turn us off from being close to people. And so anyways, I think this is somebody from that kind of younger era of your life. And they're important. So I think that, you know, this is a good time for you to kind of really commune with them in some way. If they're still alive, maybe checking up with them, saying a little prayer for them. If they have passed, maybe just letting them know that you are thinking of them. Okay. All right. Now, when I turn it this way, we have, it looks like a person. This is unrelated. We have a person who is carrying a fish. Okay, so I feel like in some ways you have really, you know, put in some work, and you are, if you have not already, you will be soon catching that big fish you've been trying to get, right? You have put in so much of your energies, your good intentions, hard work. You have known that you are going to be able to achieve something special. Okay, and I think this is really has to do with either your creative life or your work life, okay, where you're making your resources. And so I think that this is a big accomplishment for you, okay? I feel that maybe that there have been people who have not always believed in you, but you have always been aware of your potential. I think that, you know, in those darkest moments you worried. Maybe you were making the wrong decision. Maybe you're putting all of your eggs in one basket. Things weren't going to kind of play out the way that you wanted them to. But it seems like the universe is really blessing you with this one. I think that, you know, you have such vision. You are such an innovative person, highly intellectual, highly creative. Okay, and when you get your mind set on something, you make it happen. And that might take a while, but here we are. Okay, I think it's all coming together. Here I see we have a little umbrella. Okay, so it leads me to believe that there have been times where, yeah, there's been some rain. There's been some, you know, some iffy, you know, I don't know if this is gonna happen kind of days. But I also think that there was probably somebody in your life who it seems like they just were not very helpful as far as like supporting you. I think that they kind of really could not see like the vision that you had. They were not supportive of your pursuits. They did not necessarily believe in your potential, and they just really didn't have a lot of nice things to say. And I don't know if this was a partner or, again, maybe this is a family member. I don't think it's the same family member that we were talking about before, but I think that this is somebody who you have kind of parted ways with. I do think, though, that they are still alive for sure, because I feel like there's kind of an energy of like, see what I've done, right? Like I'm making it. I'm like doing the thing. And you said all this stuff. You always kind of just talked down to me. You kind of poo-pooed like, you know, all of my ideas and told me I was wasting my time. I was never going to do anything that meant any, you know, whatever, all that negative talk. And here you are. You're getting it together. It's all coming to be. And that must feel really amazing. Now, we have to be careful about how we kind of approach others, right? We don't want to throw off the balance of energy. I think that kind of shoving it in somebody's face can get out of hand. And I see here, as we turn this, that fish, it turns into a person who's holding, and it looks like the fish is kind of overtaking the person. So, first of all, we don't, you know, we don't think we've succeeded before we have succeeded, right? We have to stay the course, stay focused. But also, I think that it's easy to have a little bit of success, get really excited about it, and then, yeah, you want to show it off to everybody. You want to let them know, you know, look who's coming up now. But that is not, you know, I truly believe in being a little bit humble. Not only because it can be distractive when we get into that kind of showboating and shoving it in your face and all that, but I also think that it just energetically is not a good look, right? I don't think the universe always smiles down on somebody who is like trying to get their little bit of revenge with their success. I think, you know, more passively, yeah, live your life well, do your thing, continue on, and people will peep, right? They will see what's going on. They're not going to miss it. They're not going to miss it. And they'll hear about it from somebody, I'm sure, if they're not already kind of like stalking your internets and things. So, yeah, worry not. And then here, this one's interesting. It looks like, I'm looking at like a bowl, and it looks like it's being poured into this pot. And I almost kind of am thinking about like a soup that is just kind of mixed with all kinds of ingredients. And it makes me think that you are a visionary. You have like that ability to find the little nuanced flavors and notes and tastes and all that, but also you're very resourceful. I think that in whatever you have going, you are going to find the way to get whatever materials you need, the resources you need, the time, the energy, the motivation. You really are getting it together here. I think, you know, maybe in the past, sometimes things just didn't all align. You couldn't make it work. But here, this is going to be your time. I think this next like 6 months, you're going to be on fire with things. You're going to be that knight of wands carrying his, you know, large torch, blazing. And here we actually have the candle of illumination. And so again, kind of this reinforced idea of that glowing, beautiful light of, you know, being able to see into the depths of things, really illuminating those shadows, seeing things for what they are. And that is going to help you move more clearly in those places where once it was kind of a mystery, right? And as you go, and this is with all things, right? We have all of these, you know, worries like, oh, how does this work? Or how do we get this thing, you know, together? I don't know anything about that thing. I got to learn about it. And as you learn, as you get experience in whatever it is, it all becomes kind of second nature. Okay, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's going to help that candle burn brighter. Okay, so, you know, if you have people in your life who will support you, who do have the know-how, go and seek it out. If you have the ability, go take lessons from people. Go back to school. You know, whatever it is, find a way. You will. I know you will. Okay. And above that flame, we have what looks like, and let's see, maybe from this angle a little bit right there. So it looks like a little rabbit sitting. And so to me, it's all about that fertility of mind, of creativity, of ability. And it's, I mean, all of it's coming together. There's such an abundance of energy here. Okay. And here we have, it looks like a person who is harvesting. Okay. He or she, kind of standing there, pulling things up and putting them in their bag in the back. And it almost looks like they have like a bag full of wheat. Okay. And then we have a bird kind of overhead. And I think that this is all about, you know, reaping your harvest. Okay. You are going to really maybe make a lot of resources. Maybe it's money, maybe it's, you know, just learning skill sets. Hopefully it is money. But I think that, you know, you are doing well in your pursuits. Okay. You are blessed. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I also think that pretty soon after whatever it is that you already have going, you are going to be transitioning into a new project quickly. So I think that there's going to be kind of a series of things happening. You're going to be busy for a while. Okay, so get ready for that. I think that you really should focus on, you know, taking care of yourself, getting your things, kind of your routines down, making sure you're getting enough sleep, you're drinking enough water, you're taking care of your, you know, whatever, domestic responsibilities, all of these things that are the foundation that uphold these higher pursuits, okay? And I think that you're good at this. You know what you're doing. Just don't get so hyper-focused that you lose sight of all the other little things. Okay, and then we have a little bird here, okay? And I know I'm going quick. I'm starting to realize the time here. Okay. So we have the bird, and I almost, oddly, I mean, a lot of them look like slugs, but this really looks like a slug to me. And so I feel like there's a sense of slowing down at times where you may be feeling sluggish, okay? And I think that's tied into those lower functions, that foundational stuff. I have known a few Tauruses in my time. I was previously with one for many years, and I can tell you that I know that maybe more than most of the other signs, it's just you all get kind of really so fixated, hyper-focused on the things that you want to do. And sometimes it's quite a few things. And so just really making sure that you have, you know, all of your faculties together, and that you are, you know, minding yourself, honoring yourself, taking care with yourself. So it's not always about the work, not always about the creative pursuits, okay? And also go out and have some fun. With this bird, I think of a bird sitting and singing a beautiful song kind of at dusk and getting ready to go off to bed. And I think that, you know, you have to remember also to go blow some steam, have some fun, enjoy. You know, life goes by so quickly, and it's wonderful if you can enjoy the work you're doing, but you know, it can't be everything all the time. So just keep it in your mind that, hey, I have, you know, other things that I also have to do. Maybe you know, go on a little day trip, go to the museum, go see some gardens, go to the park, go swimming, whatever it is that you like to do. But take little breaks here and there. And I know it can be hard. I say this, and sometimes I feel like I don't remember the last time I had a little break for myself. But we'll get there, right? Okay, so I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps us get into the algorithm. And as we know, the algorithm kind of rules everything. So thank you, algorithm. Please smile upon us. Any kind of engagement really helps so much. If you like the video, if you play the video from the beginning to the end, if you share the reading on social media, off-site, that's really helpful. If you have not subscribed, think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next video is coming out. So between now and the next Taurus, you can watch your other placements, your solar, lunar, ascendant / right. ascendant / rising. Your Venus, I know, is very popular. And if you do some cross-watching, that's always fun. So if you don't know what cross-watching is, that is when you watch the readings for your loved ones, your spouse, your children, you know, somebody you have a crush on, or whoever. You know, just get a little peek into what's going on in their lives as well. And then also, if you want to leave a comment, I read every single one of them. I honestly don't think I would have continued doing these readings if it weren't for the comments, and still that feels like you know, it's still very true. I feel like I've really connected with a lot of you, you know, over the last months. Some of you have been here for the last 6 months or so, and I feel like we really are getting to know each other, and I really look forward to, you know, when I open up the thing and I'm like, oh, so-and-so commented, and everybody who is newer that's commenting, you know, some of your comments are so lovely, so supportive. They really, you know, fill my soul. A little, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of vanity, but really the energy of it all really does make me feel more confident to keep doing these readings, even when I know I do falter. I'm not perfect at this by any means, but it is such a blessing. And then there are those of you who really share your stories. You're very vulnerable and generous with, you know, sharing how you're feeling and stuff. And I'm not saying anybody has to do that, of course, but sometimes it's so, I mean, it's so moving. It really is. I read sometimes I can't even comment back immediately because I find myself really taken into different places in my heart, mind, and soul. And I have to kind of think about, okay, what am I going to say here? And so thank you so much for spending the time and being brave and loving and open and generous, truly. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and thank you, and we will talk again in just a few days.